Yeah, I mean, I get it. So let's move. Let's actually move to the first place team in the Prem. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Now, I feel like in terms of quality, this was overall the best quality match on the weekend, just in terms of displays and just both teams. But Smitty, I'll let you lead the discussion here.
I mean, that's a general consensus at this point where every time Liverpool plays, it's like, that was the most entertaining game. It's because Liverpool play this style where it will be controlled at times, and there's other times where it's like, we're just going to crash the train into a wall and we're going to see what happens. And that's what they do. But it's entertaining as shit. It's kind of a mixture of the best systems in football that we have seen in the past couple years. Like, you can see the flop style of football that is ingrained in all of the players where it's like, we want to press, we want to be direct, we just want to get at teams. And then you see there's the slot style of football where it's like, we're just going to tone it back a bit. We're going to try to keep control. We don't want to give up 30 chances today. And Bournemouth did have their chances. Let's not get that wrong. Bournemouth had chances. But at the end of the day, they get another 3 points. And it's another game played. And it's another day closer to lifting a trophy. That's all I have to say. It's just another professional performance.
Lando, anything before I dive in here?
No, I mean, I think it was a thrilling matchup. Obviously, just watched the highlights, but just looking at the stats, 14 shots for Bournemouth, 19 for Liverpool. Both of their attacks have been on fire as of late. So, Bournemouth should have had a few goals. Semenyo and Kluivert missing a wide open net.
Miss of the season, potentially.
Yeah. But, Semenyo played great. From everything I saw, all the highlights were about Semenyo. And then Kluivert, obviously, still in form as of late. But obviously, Liverpool, the king himself, Salah. Penalty. Do we want to talk about penalty? Because...
Yeah, no, we can dive right into it. I know when I first saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty. But then I also learned that the referee of the game was the same person who messed up the Luis Diaz challenge last season. So I'm not going to speculate anything, but my general consensus was that it shouldn't have been a pen. I didn't see any argument from Bournemouth players, which is kind of confusing to me, but I don't know.
There's video of the Bournemouth players saying it was a pen. So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
I don't know what I watched.
Like, he clipped them, and again, it goes back to VAR. It's like, once it's given on the field, and then you watch the video in slow-mo and you can see that he clipped them, you can't overturn it. Like, if they didn't give a pen on the field and they went to VAR, it probably wouldn't have been a pen. But it's like, once you already give it, how can you overturn it? Because it's clear they touched him.
When I watched it, I don't know, it looked like his two legs collided and he tripped himself. That was my initial when I first watched it, and that reminded me of a time where I got a yellow card for doing that against St. Bonaventure in the spring, and I almost wanted to chase the referee around the field for that. So that gave me a little bit of PTSD on that PK, because I know how that felt as an outside back. I did not think it was a penalty kick. Looked more so that his heel clicked his foot, but it is what it is, and I'll take a Mo Salah goal any time of the week.
Yeah, for fantasy purposes, of course, because you are an Arsenal fan, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like the bigger discussion that we can have, but I don't want to talk about too much, is that, like Smitty said, once it gets called on the field, you think VAR is going to overturn one of the ref's decisions? No, it's not going to happen. It has to be an egregious call for them to actually turn over. Because we just know Pig Mall and VAR and whoever, they're all going to stick together. At the end of the day, they're just thinking, as long as we have our own thing going on, whatever the public says, it doesn't matter. They just have to stick to their loyalties, and that's honestly what I think about the pen.
The referees on the field should not be the same referees that do VAR. I've said this. I said this when we started
Third
this
party.
podcast. Yes. Why can't they have one guy just sit in the goddamn television room and have all the games on at once? They could have one guy do VAR every single game. Every single game.
Yeah.
One guy could do it all.
It's not like all these challenges happen at the same time.
Like,
I hear it.
you know, like what? There's a max 3 games going on at once. Like they can have the same guy doing VAR every single week, and he doesn't have to be buddies with the guys on the ref. That at the Christmas party at the end of the year, they're going to be hammered talking about how we hate Liverpool and Klopp's a asshole. Like, they shouldn't be associated. It's that simple. Like, there's no reason for them to be associated.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. At the end of the day, though, you still have to make the pen, and that's exactly what Mo Salah did. It was interesting because I would say sticking to the first half, it was a bit quieter from his end. But even so, I think with Liverpool in general, it was more of a business, just like professional first half performance. Like Bournemouth did create all these chances. I can talk about how all their defenders were very just like confident and brave on the ball, dribbling in, inverting in like this Lewis Skelly role, doing all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't finish your chances against the big teams like Liverpool, how do you expect to get the win?
That's what Slot said after the game. He said the biggest difference in the game is we have Mo Salah on our team and they don't. And I think that's true. Like, if Bournemouth get the same chances that Liverpool get, they probably don't score twice. And that's been a situation that has happened a few times so far with Liverpool this season, where there's games where they haven't been completely dominant and in control, but they have brilliant attackers that find the way to get the job done.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It's those type of performances where it is worthy of like champion status. I would say in terms of just unsung heroes that probably won't get talked about much during the game that I actually thought put in a shift, the first person I want to call out is Alisson, because I haven't seen much of him with his hamstrings that are made out of paper. He did make some quality saves that kind of, I don't want to speak for Liverpool fans, but it brought the feeling back. It was like,
he's back.
This is the Alisson that everyone recognizes.
He might be back.
Exactly. And the second one I want to talk about, I know there was rumors going around this January about a particular left back trying to get signed to Liverpool, Milo Kirkez. Andy Robertson must have read the reports, because that was a proper Andy Robertson performance. And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing for Liverpool, because I know you're supposed to move on from him. But
brother, just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Just support him. Just support him. Give him a chance.
One chance is all it takes.
Completely different situation,
Absolute
Lando.
fraud.
Completely different situation, Lando. That's like me telling you that you should sign Raheem Sterling on a permanent deal and be like, you know what? He's 30 years old. He has no legs left. Let's support him. Give him a chance. He's going to change the season.
He could be back in his prime.
Yeah, right. Andrew Robertson, 3 days after playing center back in the Champions League, puts in that performance. It was a vintage Robbo performance.
That was such a good performance.
Where he's just run around and have energy, which he doesn't have anymore. But
yeah, but even at the end of the day, like, he was still making last-ditch challenges in the 1v1 battles. I'm like, who is this guy? I haven't seen him in a while. Like, it was good to see him. I'm like, oh, familiar face. Welcome back.
Kirkez was good there, too.
You want to speak on him?
The left side of Bournemouth was class. Kirkez and Semenyo just running at people direct, getting at Trent, which all teams should do at this point. And they should have scored. They really should have scored, but they didn't.
I think just a couple more call-outs. I feel like McAllister was a bit off today. I think after he got the yellow and he wasn't really able to get into the game too much. But at the end of the day, when you have a team of just absolute ballers, if one goes down, the other 10 are stepping up. I Any thoughts there on any other players you want to talk about? Or
Szoboszlai had his classic couple game a month hair flick performance
yeah,
where he forgets how to use the ball at his feet and he just runs around and gets pictures taken of him.
Oh, the best looking man in the Premier League, according to Benny.
I mean, he is. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't want to go down that route, but
we'll have to drop the clip for the viewers. We'll have to drop the clip.
He is a beautiful looking man, but I mean, Gravenberch again, like just standard procedure with him. I mean, the one situation he was in on the sideline where he spun out, I don't know, but I think, as a Liverpool fan, I will say this is one of my biggest concerns is a situation like Gravenberch where Slot's turned them into an absolute demon. It's going to make the owners think we don't have to buy anybody. They're just going to be like, oh, Robertson's going to be able to have this transformation, and he's not. And that's like, I think that's my biggest concern with Liverpool right now is like, I think they're going to win the league. I'm 97% confident they're going to win the league, and I think they'll give it a real go in the Champions League as well. But if you don't figure out what you're doing in terms of Trent, Van Dijk, and Salah, you're going to have serious, serious problems moving forward. And I know this week Slot came out and said, like, yeah, we're not going to be active in this transfer window because we're planning on having a big summer to propel ourselves into the position to win trophies for years and years to come. Well, that kind of makes me think that they might let all three of them walk and they're going to start over, which is insane to me.